Hello, my dear students. Myself, Sheikh Gurnaz. Now, I am here with the topic of continuation of the topic. In the last class, we have discussed about students here, the impact of the British rule in India. So, in the last classes, in previous class, we have learned about the dispute over medium of instructions. What were the medium of instructions about English language, and also about the impact of the peasants like Royatwari system, Mehalwari system, and permanent land revenue system and land revenue policy we learned in last previous class. Okay, so now let us do the continuation of this. Students, in the last class you have seen about you have learned about the universities which were established by Britishers. So next we have the impact of Western educations. What were the impacts on when the English education has been established in India? What were the impacts? Okay. So the traditional system slowly declined. Traditional system is nothing but, students, in the olden days people used to gain the knowledge of Buddhism, Jainism, about the religious education they used to. So, but what happened? The new education system enabled Indians from different languages to interact among themselves. So, the new education which established in India, that what happened after introducing that, the unity, we can say, from different languages to interact among themselves. We have seen, students, nowadays you can see, not only nowadays, we have many languages, 1600 languages or more than that in India. So then also India stands for unity in diversity. So we have different languages, traditions, caste, religions, etc. Then also we have unity. So here, students, in every state they have their own languages. So like that, what happened here? The new education system enabled the Indians from different languages to interact among themselves. So this gave impetus to the growth of national feelings. So the European intellectual thoughts affected the Indians' thinking in a long-term perspective. So it also influenced the Indian literature and resulted in various literary movements. Many sections of the society received social awakening. So students, after the impact of Western education, it also influenced the Indian literature and resulted in various literary movements. So we started we started writing history in very different means in every any languages started, like Sanskrit, Urdu, Hindi, in many languages, students. So here many sections of the society received social awakening. By that social awakening they got the awakening. Okay, so next we have, that is economic impact. What were the economic impact here? The industrial revolution that took place in Europe during the century, that is 18th and 19th century, impacted seriously on the trade commerce of India. So here, students, what happened? The industrial revolutions that took place during the centuries like 18th and 19th century impacted seriously on the trade and commerce of India. That affected this business of India. So the East India Company was only a trade company till 1757 CE. After this, it used the political power to establish monopoly over the Indian productions and trade completely. So as a result, the weavers had to purchase raw materials at higher rates. So here, students, what happened after the East India Company was only a trade company till 1757. Next, what happened after this? It used the political power. Who? Britishers, and they wanted to establish the monopoly, single form of business they wanted to do, individual business they want to do. So what happened after that, students? Over the Indian productions and trade completely, they wanted to do the individual business on all Indian states, and also wanted completely. So as a result, the weavers had to purchase raw materials at higher rate, the costs. So the British commerce policy was aimed at facilitating the growth of industries of England only. The main aim of the Britishers here was, students, they wanted to facilitate the growth of industries of England only. They were not thinking about India. So they wanted to do the single monopoly type of business in India. But then also behind that, the main aim was to facilitate their own growth. So they wanted India to be a net importer of factory-made goods of England and net exporter of raw material to England. So they wanted India to be a net importer of factory made goods and also the net export of raw material to India. So by introducing free trade, it forced the Indian cottage industries towards extinction. Because of this, what happened, students? India's as they were ruling politically in India, who Britishers. So here what they were doing, the exports and imports, what we were doing, that they made as free for them. So because of that, what happened, students? Obvious, if we are doing the trade transportation in free, then what happened? Obviously we will get loss. So because of this, students, what happened? Indian cottage industries towards extinctions, they came to extinct. As the wealth of India flowed towards England, India became a poor country. According to Dadabhai Naoroji, wealth drain resulted in poverty. According to the Dadabhai Naoroji, wealth drain resulted in poverty. So we were having too much. When the Britishers took the advantage of the Indian peoples, then what happened? Our wealth dropped. So the British citizens invested money in India and made profit out of it. So this was again the main reason for this. So as a result, the drain of in the wealth, there was a shortage on investment in India too. So this hampered the progress of Indian industries. Adam Smith, the father of economics, has described the British as plunderers. So here, students, Adam Smith, the father of economics, has described the British in India as plunderers. Plunderers are nothing but, students, those who are taking the wealth from someone by forcibly. Okay, in Hindi we can say it as lootna. Okay, so next what happened? Now let us see the next, that is constitutional development. What do you mean by constitutional, students? Here, a set of rules and regulations. What were the development of rules and regulations? See here, Regulating Act. This act has been introduced in the year 1773 CE. The constitutional reforms in India started during the British rule. The Regulating Act of 1773 is an important milestone in the history of constitution. So the Governor General Warren Hastings implemented this act in 1773. This act became the base of British administrations in India. This also gave a constitution to the East India Company. So here, students, according to this law, that is in constitution reforms in India started during the British rule. The constitutional reforms started in India during the period of Britishers only. The Regulating Act of 1773 is an important milestone in the history of constitution. How, students? Now let us see in details. The Governor General Warren Hastings implemented this act in 1773. This act became the base of British administration in India. So according to this also gave a constitution to the East India Company, Regulating Act. So next, the another constitutional act was Pitt's India Act. So the government of India was not happy with the administrative system of India. It decided to concentrate on this issue. Hence, the Prime Minister William Pitt brought in an act included the East India Company as a part of the government and considered it as a unit. Many acts followed this act in subsequent years. So here, students, we can see the next act was Pitt's India Act. According to these students, this was introduced in the year 1784. So here, student, the government of England was not happy with the constitution, with the rules and regulation administrative system of India. So they decided to concentrate on this issue. So what happened? The Prime Minister William Pitt brought an act. Because of the Prime Minister William Pitt, this act was named as Pitt's India Act. So it included the East India Company as a part of the government and considered it as an unit. So they interfere in the administrative system of India also. So many acts followed this act in subsequent years. Few years we can say. So Morley-Minto reforms, this has been introduced in the year 1909 CE. So here, students, Lord Minto was the Viceroy of India. During this period, Lord Morley was also the Secretary of the State. Due to the authoritative role of Lord Curzon and violent protests from Indian revolutionaries, the Minto-Morley reforms were introduced. According to this act, eligible Indians could be made part of the government programs. So the number at Central Legislative assembly increased. Similarly, the regional assemblies were also expanded. So here students, Lord Minto was the Viceroy of India. During this period, Lord Morley was also the Secretary of India. Here Minto was Viceroy of India and Morley was Secretary of the State. Due to the authoritative role of Lord Curzon and violent protests from Indian revolutionaries, the Minto-Morley reforms were introduced because they were against the administrative role of Lord Curzon and violent protests from the Indian revolutionaries. So because of that, the Minto and Morley reforms were introduced. According to this act, eligible Indians could be made part of the government programs. So the number at the Central Legislative Assembly has been increased because of the Indians, those who are eligible, so they can made part of that. So similarly, the regional assemblies were also expanded. So Morley-Minto reforms did not bring in any drastic changes in the constitutional process of India. It did not give any responsibility to the representatives. So here students, what happened? This has been not given that much changes, broad changes. This had been not there in these reforms. It did not given any responsibility to the representative. So next we have the Montego-Chelmsford reforms. It has been introduced in the year 1919 CE. So Morley-Minto reforms did not satisfy the Indians. So the Secretary of India, Montego, declared that the British government wants to provide more representatives to Indians in administrations. So Lord Minto, who was the Viceroy of India during that time, brought this act into effect. So the total members of the Indian Council of Secretary of State was increased and the tenure of membership was fixed at 5 years. So an Indian High Commissioners was posted in London. So here students, next reforms that has been established by the Britishers, introduced by the Britishers, that was Montego-Chelmsford reforms. So according to these students, what happened? Because of the Morley-Minto reform, the Indians were not happy. They were not satisfied. So the Secretary of State, that is Montego, declared that the Britishers wanted to provide more representative of Indians to the administrator. So because of that, according to these students, Lord Minto, who was the Viceroy of India during that time, brought the acts into effect. So next, the total members at the Indian Council of Secretary of the State was increased, and the tenure membership was fixed at 5 years. So an Indian High Commissioner was posted in England. So next we have 1935 Act. So Morley-Minto reforms did not satisfy the Indians. So to pacify the Indians, the Government of India Act 1935 was implemented. So according to it, a Federal of India was formed with the federations of state and princely states. Diarchy was introduced at central government. So responsible governments were established at the regions. This act is considered as the major milestone in Indian history. So here students, next act was introduced in the year 1935 Act, and its name is also 1935 Act. So according to this, Morley-Minto reforms did not satisfy the Indians, as I said you. So the Government of India Act 1935 was implemented because the Indians were not satisfied. So according to it, a Federal of India was formed with the federations of states and princely states. Because of that, what happened? According to that, many princely states has been established in India. So Diarchy was introduced a central government. So responsible governments were established at the regions. So this act is considered as the major milestone in Indian history. So next we have students exercise, that is answer the following in each sentences. Who introduced the permanent zamindari system? What is Rayotwari system? How much fund was reserved for education in India as per Charter Act of 1913? Who implemented the Regulating Act and when? Name the universities that were established in India in 1857. So discuss in group and answer the following. How did permanent zamindari system influence the farmers? Explain the impact of Western education in India. Mention some of the important constitutional reforms in India. So next we have, that is match the following. Warren Hastings, Cornwallis, Thomas Munro, William Bentinck, Dadabhai Nauroji. Permanent zamindari system, English education, collection of tax by auction, wealth drain theory, Rayotwari system. So yes students, you have to solve this exercise. If you have any question or any doubt relating to this topic, you can ask me. Thank you students for watching my video.